Hey folks, Military Gun Guy here. This is a rifle I'm going to be restoring for a friend of mine. This thing is almost too big to fit in the camera. This is an 1896 11 Swiss infantry rifle. This fires a 7.5 by 55 Swiss cartridge. This one is beautiful, all matching. These were magazine fed. The magazine just simply came out like that. What I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a teardown on this, a complete teardown, because I'm going to be restoring this rifle back to its original condition. You can see where the bolt is polished. Okay, these were straight pull rifles, and so you know, every time you racked around, you pulled this back, pushed it forward. The receiver and the barrel are going to, barrel and receiver are going to be getting a rust blue finish, as are the outlying bands, the muzzle. This thing is going to be restored back to a complete original. I'm going to polish up this butt plate real nice. This will also get rust blued, along with the trigger guard and whatnot. So this is just going to show a super simple, basic teardown on this. It looks to be all matching, which is nice. Most of them are. When taking apart rifles like this, make sure you use good quality screwdrivers. You don't want to ruin a weapon of this nature with a cheap screwdriver that's going to round out the edges of, or going to strip out the edges of the screw heads. This comes together, or apart actually, fairly simply. These guns weren't overly complicated design-wise back in the day. Most stuff was held together by screws or bands or whatnot. So I'm basically just popping this out. This has a hinge, and this captures the screw. So you can see where that piece just goes there. And I try to kind of keep everything together. This slides right off. This is the rear band. And I'll put the screw back in. And then you have the handguard. This one's in all matching numbers, as most of the Swiss rifles are. You can see the number, and then the Swiss, I think it's like a coat of arms in there. Hopefully you can see that, because there's a lot of glare out here. This will get a nice stain and oil finish. Oh, also something on these is that they did put a sleeve. They wanted the barrels truly free-floating. The Swiss were known for their accuracy and the high quality of their weapons. So there's 3 screws on the bottom of this for the action. And you'll also find typically underneath the wood line that the bluing on these is literally excellent. Some of the things that you can do is, if you're proficient with bluing, is you can rust blue, which is what I'm going to do with this, and then you can actually color match it. Again, this just pops right out. The blue is not too bad on here. This gun really wasn't abused. It's just really old. But you can actually rust blue and match the rust bluing, and I'll show you in a minute. But again, you have a matching serial number here. I don't know if you can see that right in there, the barrel channel. Everything matches nicely. These guns weren't really piecemeal put-togethers. There's a little, like a castle nut. Where'd my finger go? There it is. It's like a little castle nut type thing that actually holds this bottom retainer. We'll get that off, and then there's a couple screws for that, a couple screws for that. And this thing is pretty much all apart. Again, these were very well made, and they're starting to go for much higher prices now, as the supplies of a lot of these guns are starting to dry up. So there is 1 screw for the butt. Almost. These are not really known to have the troop tags on them, whereas the K31s are. I'd be surprised if I pulled this off and there's a troop tag. Oh. Well, my friend will be quite happy to see that it actually has the original troop tag. And these were issued to the Swiss, I think it was the Swiss military, and I believe once they retired or got out of the military, they were allowed to, I think, keep their weapons. I could be wrong on that. But I actually have one of these, and mine did not have the troop tag. So, and I know my friend is really big on historical correctness and whatnot, so I think the discovery of that troop tag is really going to make him happy. It actually kind of makes me happy too. Okay, so the stock is down to its most basic. These were wood stock, or oh, sorry, obviously they're wood. These were walnut stocks, very well made, very thick. They stood up to the Swiss, the conditions in the Swiss Alps and whatnot. There's again the Swiss coat of arms. There's also one there that we're going to try and preserve. This will probably just get a really thorough cleaning and go from there. On the barrel itself, this actually comes out fairly easily. You can pull that to the rear. You push this little lever down here and the bolt just comes right out. These had a helical style bolt. This will just get a good polish as original. I'll take it apart, probably respring it and go from there. Again, you can see the quality of the bluing on the barrels. These things were nothing short of amazing the way that they were made. So rather than do a full reblue, I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reblue this area and to show you how to color match rust bluing, because the color will be the same. And then the receiver, I may actually from this point back actually strip this out and polish it and then reblue it. But the springs on this thing are excellent. Has a very, very accurate, very nice trigger. So yeah, once we're done with this thing's going to look beautiful. And you can see there's a barrel marking underneath. And this looks like, actually, I don't know if you can see it, this is a SIG barrel. Sig Sauer made, still makes some of the finest firearms on the planet. 5-shot magazine. Basically, these just pop through, and then you can pull out the actual spring and the follower and go from there. So yeah, I think once we get started on this, you'll be really happy. This piece, if you really want to get anal retentive, there's a little pin that's right there. You can pop that pin out, and this whole piece just comes right off. I'm going to probably end up doing that because I want to preserve that spring underneath, because I have lost one of those on mine, and they're very, very hard to replace, and then go from there. But this should go all the way. It really doesn't want to. It wants to fight me today. Anyway, we got it out, I promise. So yeah, so from this point on, I'm actually going to start with the stock, and this is just going to get a very thorough degreasing and cleaning, get all the years of grime off of it. And then from there, it'll get a nice wood stain and then a satin polyurethane finish. Most of these little dings and stuff will come up as part of the cleaning process. I'm going to do very, very little sanding on this because it's in such beautiful condition. I don't want to round any of these edges off. But I do want to get a couple of the dings out. I can steam them out. But I like to leave, this gun is over 100 years old, so I want to keep the integrity of the weapon as much as possible. And to me, taking out and making this thing perfect as far as the wood is concerned, to me is sort of kind of denigrating its history. I mean, this gun never saw battle, but this gun was used extensively by Swiss troops back in the day before they switched to the K11 and then finally the K31. So stay tuned. We'll come back with some cleaning process and some wood cleaning, and then we'll start working on polishing up these barrel bands and getting these reblued. Again, these might just I might just do a touch-up because the bluing is actually nice. I'll just polish this out. And then actually color match the rust blue. This will get a polish. Take the bolt apart. We'll get the polish on that. Polish this up, and then we'll match everything else. So that is the 1896 11 Swiss infantry rifle and 7.5 by 55 millimeter Swiss, which does take a .308 caliber bullet. So if you're a reloader, your bullets will go a long way if you can scrounge a lot of .308 stuff. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye bye.